I talk to many sales leaders like who tell me about, oh, we don't need an SE. Salespeople do the demos here. Right? What are your thoughts around?
Well, it's interesting because I've actually had some recent. I had to make some recent decisions around this exact topic. So when I came into the company, our product stack was actually not really all that complicated, and I was kind of wondering why they need sales engineers to begin with, when it looks like pretty much any sales guy could demo this product. And it wasn't until that we actually made like four acquisitions in 2023 alone, where our product stack reached a very deep level of sophistication relative to where we were a year ago. Now, although I am somewhat mostly against sales reps doing their own demos because you don't want them to kind of screw it up or half-ass it, if you will, or get lost in the weeds and then end up having to go get a solutions engineer anyway, and they all they did was just delay their sales cycle and potentially the opportunity. Um, so I've kind of been a proponent of them not running their demos. Now, here's the interesting thing: we recently hired a new leader from Microsoft, and one of the things he mentioned to me that was interesting is that anybody within the company has to know 365. They have to know 365 bare minimum, right? You got to be able to talk about it, know all the licensing, know everything there is to know about that one core product.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the same time, I'm getting reps coming up to me saying they want to do their own demos. They want access to the demo environment. They want to do their own demos. And up until recently, I said no. But I've decided to change that actually. And I feel now, and this is literally Ramsey over the last couple of weeks since the last time we spoke, actually, that I now want them to do their first, I want them to do product demos for the one core product. So if they can do a demo for the core product that really is not that complicated to begin with, by all means, go ahead. Because what it's going to do is set up my team down the road for better scalability when we're going to be more reserved for the more complex opportunities that might involve traversing more than the core product and increasing that complexity of the exchange with the prospect. Then you know what? By all means. And if they're coming to me saying, I think I can do my own demos, you know what? I'm not going to stop you anymore. But if I spot check that and I go back and I find out they're not doing it the way I want them to, because I told them, hey, I'm going to give you access, but I'm holding you accountable. Here's a recording of one of my best demos. Make sure you learn how to do that. And if I spot check you and you're not doing that, you're going to lose it. So make sure you learn it. Put in the time and effort. If you want to do your own demos, you better at least be able to do about 10% of the work that my team and I does when we get on the phone, right? So it's a mixed bag. It depends, frankly. But in the case here at ScalePad, you know what? I'm all for it now. You guys want to do your own demo? Go ahead. If you think you can close that deal, I don't want to get in your way. Call up my team or I when you need some cover support.
Okay. So, I have several thoughts around that. You mentioned you spot check them.
I'm gonna. I told him if I go spot check it and it turns out that you're not delivering to a standard that I expect, they're going to be accountable for that.
Could you instead certify them?
I actually have a sort of a self-directed knowledge level tracking system that I devised for my team. Sales leadership has actually asked me to come up with something similar for their sales reps.
Okay. And how customized are these demos that they're doing for the core
They're
product?
not. Listen, this is not enterprise, right? This
So
is this is SMB.
would it be easier to just send a demo via recording, like your best demo?
Yes, sometimes. But the reps, when they're smart, they don't want to release control of the sale or the engagement with their prospect. They'd rather keep them on the phone so that they can close them instead of relinquishing control of that engagement to a video.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess that's a debate that we might have to have at some point. Because in my mind, if I send a video to my customer, sure, I'm relinquishing some control, but also allowing the customer to make the decision of whether they want to talk to me or not. Because if it's not useful to them, then maybe we shouldn't have this conversation.
I understand. I understand that. But the thing that's most important in this very specific SMB channel market is scale. The end of the day, the only thing that matters is volume and scale. So if I can free up cycles of my team and make them available for other medium or larger opportunities, because now the reps are kind of delivering on their own,
Yeah,
sort
I
of core
agree with
demo, it makes sense.
that. I agree with that. But I'm saying we can even scale the sales team by just sending a video.
You tell them that. You tell them
Okay.
they can be replaced with a video.
Well, that's the thing. That's not. I'm not. I don't think I would be replacing them with the video. We're freeing them up to talk to video qualified leads, right? Someone, right?
It sounds a lot easier than it is in the reality.
I'm backseat quarterbacking, right? I'm from afar saying something. So it sounds like you've tried something similar. Maybe not the same thing.
Listen, I just had my team produce 12 5 and 2 minute videos of our products for the sales to use as tools.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes, right? Some of them are blasting it out all over the place. Some of them are waiting to show it to them until they don't want to jump on a one-to-one live. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
you know,
I would love to hear the results for that.
Me too. I can't wait. I'd like to know how many times a 5 minute demo closed the deal instead of the
I
rep
don't
for
think
the.
5 minute demo closes the deal. I think it's just when after watching the 5 minute demo, if the customer is more interested, now you have a better chance of closing the salesperson closing the deal through more in depth conversations. But that's again my opinion. Someone who doesn't work in the industry and looking from the outside in with no knowledge, right?
Yeah,
I'm qualifying myself right here. I'm just saying that's not how I see it, and I might be wrong. I'm more than I've been wrong more than once.
I get that there's a number of different schools of thought around it,
Yeah,
and frankly, at the end of the day, especially in this day and age, in terms of what like the buyer journey looks like, it's got to be a little bit of everything.
yeah,
It's everything. It's you got to have one-on-ones, one-to-manys, videos, on-demand, streaming, webinars, a little bit of every possible medium and method and platform
yeah.
to win.
Especially with SMBs, where you're not like
100%.